Okay. Okay. Melissa's back. She left and came back. Okay, so we are going to make this as quick and precise as two people who like to go down a rabbit hole can make it. So we have so many new people on our team, and most of y'all, I mean, Abby, not Abby, Beatty and Abby, I think you're together. Melissa, Kadra, y'all are still fairly new, but I feel like y'all are learning the ropes. Oh, here's James. Um, Hey, James. So as our team grows, we want to make sure that people have the right tools and the right systems that they know they can use to have a successful business. Most of you know, but a year ago, I was literally sitting where most of you are. Um, Most of you are fairly new, even if you've been around for a little while, fairly new to sharing the products. And literally a year ago, I knew nothing about gut health. I knew nothing about our products. Jessica had me on Triplex for 6 months, and I couldn't have told you what Probio 5 was or what it did. I thought that was the one that made me poop, and maybe I had no idea what I was doing. I was just doing it. Okay. So I say that to say, I know that when you start, it can be very overwhelming because there's so much out there, there's so much information. Know this, number one, you don't have to know everything. I still don't know everything. Jessica still doesn't know everything. Melissa Deaton's been on here. Melissa, how long have you been with Plexus now? She still doesn't know everything. But what we do have is an incredible team full of people, and not just this team, but our bigger team and the team above that, with people who have been in this business for years, 10, 12 years. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have pharmacists, we have nutritionists, we have people who have really put so much time and energy into learning the products. Melissa's been around for 7 years. And just know that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And what one of the most common things we say is, as we're starting out in this business, is I don't know that answer, but I can find it for you. So if you ever get in a situation where you feel like you're stumped and you don't know how to help someone, don't be afraid to say, hey, I don't know that, but I'll get back to you. People respect that more than you just trying to, fly from the hip and make something up. But what we want y'all to know is that the opportunity in this business is such an incredible opportunity, and the potential that you have here is so incredible. And what we want as a team is we want you to have access to a simple system that you can feel confident doing, but that you can also feel confident showing someone else how to do. Like, hey, it's not hard. Let me show you how I'm making an extra $500 a month. Let me show you how I started. And the things that we're doing have been proven to work, for years, and for people that have been in this for years. So what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about, okay, I'm just getting started. And you could be just getting started, or you could be wanting to help some of your customers or some of your friends or whoever get started in the business. We want you to have the confidence that you have at your fingertips what you need to help them. So when someone gets started, when someone comes to you and says, I want to work the business, or a customer says, I'd love to get my products paid for, what is the first thing that person needs to do? The first thing they need to do is there's two options. They can reach out to a handful of family and friends via text. They can pick up the phone and call them, or they can make a post. And if they are willing to make a post on social media, you can literally hold their hand and say, look, this is not hard. All I need you to do is make a post, and then I'm going to help you do the rest. And what does that look like? So whether it's you making the post and you want to know what to do and what to say when someone says, hey, send me info, and then it's the, oh crap, now I got to send this person info, what do I say? So if you have not already downloaded Boards, the Team Boards app that has the pink heart, and I'll tell you, Angel has actually taken the script that I'm about to show y'all, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm not the best at this. Hang on. Share. I'm going to see if I can pull up. We literally have in this board, um, hey buddy. No, she's coming in here. You want cereal? Hmm. can you ask Sailor to get it? Okay, I'm trying to log in here to show you all this. So in boards, we literally have, and if you're just, hey, Sailor, what's the matter? You need to go TT? Okay. Okay, I'm logging in. Hey, Sailor. Where's Sailor? Can you go find her? Oh, thank you for bringing me a stool. He just brought me a stool. Okay, let's log in. I'm using an incognito browser, so it's probably it's gonna make me type everything in. I didn't want y'all to see the mess that is my actual browser right now. Okay, so can y'all all see this? Y'all let me know and I can zoom in. Can y'all see this? Is it too small or is it a good size? Okay. All right. So when you log into this board, I literally started creating this board and I can't take credit for it. I literally took things from other boards and kind of combined it. But it was, I think it was like in June, and I was like, I want something that someone, like, let's say 3 years down the road, someone's joining this exact team, and we may never even know who they are. It may be weeks, months before we even meet these people. We want them to have at their fingertips what they need to have a successful business. So literally when you come on, you click new here, start here. You click on that, and I'm not going to go through all this. And there's literally steps that show you what to do to get started in this business. We're going to talk about signing a VIP. So you're going to click on that. When you make a post and someone says, send me info, or someone sends you a message on Facebook or texts you and says, hey, I've been seeing your post, I'm interested. What do you got for me? This script was literally created to help you step by step without word vomiting, because my sister can tell you when I started, I used so many words that I probably ran half the people off, that they were like, she just tried to give me a doctorate in gut health and I don't even know what she's talking about. Okay, so literally you can take this script and you can copy and paste each little bit and start your conversation. Now, please make this your own words. Not that you can't copy and paste. Make it sound like you. Make it sound like something that you would say in your conversation. So feel free to change it up. So someone says, send me information. Hey, so nice to meet you, or so nice to talk to you. I'm happy to answer your questions to see if this is something that can help you too. Then we immediately send the Candida chart. Has everybody seen the chart? Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, or if you've never even heard of this chart. And there's a reason that we send this chart. Let me see if I can pull it up. Is because, why do I not have this? Maybe it's right here. Here it is. The reason that we send this chart is because what is our purpose? We know we have products that can help people with all kinds of things, but unless we know what that person specifically needs help with, it's hard for us to make recommendations. People are not all the same, and so our products are not one size fits all. I will tell you, 99% of the people are going to at least need triplex. But from there, we're going to add things based on their specific needs. So when we send this Candida chart, we're going to say, take a look at this chart, and that's in the script too. Take a look at this chart and let me know what things you see here that you are struggling with that you would like help with. So we send them that and we give them a few minutes. This helps us, but it also helps them, because they may not have any idea that your pink drink can help with their ADD or their mood swings or their oral thrush or dandruff or eczema. They may not ever be putting together. So like if somebody comes to you and says, I want to lose weight, because we all know that's the thing most people want. But more than weight loss, we are not a weight loss company. We are a gut health company, and gut health affects everything. And this chart shows people things that they deal with and they have just accepted as normal or a part of aging or something they're going to have to be on medication for forever. There could be another way. So we're showing them this chart because it's very eye-opening. And most people will be like, oh my gosh, I have 20 or I have 30 or whatever. Me personally, I had 17 when I got started. Now I'm down to about 2 or 3. It just depends on the time of year or whatever's going on. Okay, so we send the chart. And before we send the chart, this is what we say. so that I send you the best information for you personally. Which of these things are you struggling with or want to address? And this is where you can make it personal. By the way, I was struggling with around 17 a year ago. You give them time to look at that, and you also send them this short clip that says, and while you're looking over this, take a look at the short clip that tells you more about Plexus. You click on this, and it literally is a 2-minute video on the microbiome and all the things that are affected by the health of your gut. Okay. Wait for them to answer. Give them time to look over the chart. This is where some people are going to come back and say, I have 17, but they're not going to give you any information. They're not going to say anxiety, IBS, whatever it is. Some people will be a little bit more guarded and private. And that's when you'll need to say, do you mind telling me a few of the ones, that you would like to address the most or whatever? So wait for them to answer. This is where you start connecting by telling them so when they answer and they tell you, okay, here's my list. This is when you start connecting and telling them that you understand how they feel. You felt some of those same ways. You're really starting to tell them, I've had so many customers, you wouldn't believe how many people deal with the same issues, right? You say, thank you for telling me that. I'm honestly can relate to that. I had my 5th baby at 40. This is me. Always tired, bloated, never used the bathroom. These products have helped me so much. It does take time and consistency, and it's not overnight. But if you use them, it will help. Y'all, this part is so important. You've got to make sure that we are setting the stage correctly for these people, giving them the realistic expectation that this is not an overnight. This is not a magic pill. This is not a skinny drop they're going to put in their mouth, and 3 days later they're going to lost 20 pounds and they don't have to get off the couch to do it, right? We want people to know. And so we're going to mention this a few times, like, hey, it's not overnight, but if you give it time, it will help you. Okay. After a few minutes, and they have time to, this must be out of order. After they have time to watch the video, that should have gone up there. Okay. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Hang on. I feel like this got mixed up. There's another video that's not on here. Right here, after you say these products can help you so much, we actually have a triplex video, and I'll fix the script for y'all. And it's about 2 minutes long too. And it just explains how our gut health system helps with all the things on that chart. Okay. So you give them time to watch that. And then you say, I would love to make some recommendations for you. Is there anything else I need to know to help? Are you on any medications, or do you have any specific medical diagnosis? The reason we're asking this is, again, it's going to pull more information out of them, because maybe they didn't tell you about their diabetes medicine that they're on, or maybe they didn't tell you that they're on an allergy pill, or that they take Miralax to go to the bathroom. So this is just us getting more and more information. And what I do is I don't know if I have one right here, but I get a piece of paper and I start writing down all the symptoms they told me, all the medications they told me, anything they tell me, I write it down. Okay. And then I also ask them, how's your bathroom situation? Y'all, this was so uncomfortable for me when I first started. And I know Carrie, I hate to call you out, but it was so uncomfortable for Carrie. Some people don't like talking about poop to other people. Okay. It's normal for that to be uncomfortable. I promise you, it gets better. Everybody poops. And one of the most important questions that we ask people is about their bathroom situation. I thought it was normal to only go to the bathroom once a week, because my mom, my grandmother, my great-grandmother all had the same issues. Our great-grandmother, mine and Michelle's great-grandmother, used to literally eat Vaseline every night before she went to bed to go to the bathroom. So in our mind, pooping every day is not normal. Okay. So some people may think, no, I'm good there. But we have to ask the question, do you go at least 1 to 2 times every day? And that can kind of get the conversation going. Oh, I thought that was normal. Okay. So after you're collecting information, why are we doing this? Because we want to make sure we are getting people on the right products. Why do we want to get people on the right products? Because we want them to get results. We want them to feel better, and we want them to order the next month and the next month and the next month and be happy, lifelong customers. Okay. We're not just trying to sign up a bunch of people randomly and wave them goodbye and we hope thanks for ordering, on to the next. Okay. We're trying to build a sustainable business and residual income. And how you do that is by treating people and considering each person as an individual, really asking the right questions and really getting them on the right products. Okay. All right. And then you say, all right, I know this is a lot of back and forth, but I just want to make sure we get you on the right product. So we're kind of letting them know, like, I'm gathering information and I'm trying to make, like, I see you as an individual. This is not just we throw the same thing at everybody, right? Okay. Now, the next thing is, and this was hard for me when I started, and I'll be honest, I did not do this for months. I did not talk about the business for months. Okay. But a lot of times, if you haven't already, you're going to have people that are going to come to you and say, I can't afford it. It's too much money. So before we let them make that objection, we cut it off. Okay. We go ahead and put this in their mind. Before I make a recommendation, I always want people to know we never want finances to be the reason you can't start your health journey. We have a super simple referral system. By the way, this is it. What I'm talking you through, this is a really simple system that anyone can do. Okay. We have a super simple referral system, and I help people all the time get their products paid for. Okay. And you don't ask them, are you interested in working the business? You're just putting that in their head. Okay. Okay. Give me a few minutes and I'll be back with recommendations. This is when I go to, I'm going to back up and show you, and I'm going to show you where it was under signing a VIP. This is where the script came from. What combos to recommend. Okay. Click on this. Now, there's different things you can do here. You can talk to your sponsor if you're brand new and they can help you, or you can come right here, how to recommend products, and then click on this. I don't even know what team did this. Another team did this, and I love it, and I use it all the time. If you scroll, there's a lot of really good information. So take the time to go through this. But at the very bottom, and here's another Candida chart. At the very bottom, it's going to say product recommendations, and it's going to go through the different things people, if somebody tells you they need mental clarity, here are some options, okay? All the way down. And then it starts talking about reflux, pain and inflammation, in pregnancy. A lot of times you're going to have people ask you, is it safe for pregnant people? Absolutely. It's actually good for pregnant people and people nursing. Triplex, Mega X, X Factor Original, and Ease are all recommended products for pregnancy. And then this is for second and third trimester. What's the difference? Oh, X Factor Plus versus Original. And I know this is a lot. If you have specific product questions, we can talk about that later too. Okay, but this is what I wanted to get to. When you get people who are like, I have hyperthyroidism or Hashimoto's, this literally tells you reset with triplex, reset, triplex with hunger control slim, block, go slowly on the block, and then X Factor and Metaburn. And then in parentheses, it's going to give you a more cost-effective option for those people. Okay. Now, do they have to take all of this? No. If money is not an option and they want to go ahead and get everything, then the reset with triplex, block, X Factor, Metaburn. If they're like, I want to start slow, just start them on, what does it say? X Factor, triplex with hunger control and X Factor original. Okay. So it gives you different options here. I have used this chart so many times. If somebody has anxiety, start them with reset, triplex, hunger control, and vital biome. Now, the slim recommendation, what Jessica and I think Melissa too, we always, and I didn't always, so I'll have to back up in a minute, recommend slim, the original slim, the microbiome slim, for the first at least month or two. Okay. The reason is it has a probiotic and a prebiotic, and it's really going to address the health of your gut and I don't know how to explain this. What I have had happen, and when I started, just really quickly, I started on the original slim. Jessica started me on the original slim. I think it was November of last year. It was when it was a big slim hunger control and balance push. And everybody was talking about slim hunger control and balance. So I added slim hunger control, but I still took the original slim. Okay. Well, I start signing up all my new customers and I'm putting them all on hunger control. And I have a lot of customers. Well, I kept having all these customers come to me saying, I'm so bloated. I'm so bloated. I'm miserable. I'm so bloated. And we could not figure out the problem. Well, we figured it out. It's because of the slim hunger control. The slim hunger control has extra fiber in it that literally attaches to the liquid in your, gut and expands it to make you feel full. Okay. Well, some people have an adverse reaction to extra fiber and it can make them bloated. It's not permanent, but it's uncomfortable. And we just don't want people starting out their experience with us bloated. Okay. So 99% of the time, especially if someone has a specific health issue, they're going to need to start on the original Slim, and then they can add in hunger control later. Okay. If you'll have any questions about that, we can talk about it later. Okay. So go through here and write down the things, like if they have constipation issues and anxiety, you can kind of write the suggestions of the two together. Okay. Now, when we're going to go back to the script. Where did it go? Oh, back one. Okay. Am I going too fast? Is this good? Y'all let me know. Okay. Okay. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to make a recommendation. Okay. Here are some options for you. This is what we told. Here are some options. These are things I really believe will help you heal from the inside out, get to the root of the issue so you aren't having to deal with them anymore. And this is where we say this again. I also like to make sure people understand this is not an overnight fix or a Band-Aid. We ask that you give it 90 days of being super consistent and communicating with us so we can help you work through any issues. Being consistent is really the only way to ensure you're not wasting your money. So we say that again. All right. These are the options. These options are like good, better, best. Any of these would be a great place to start, and you can always add things later. Now, we usually send 3 options, okay? A good, a better, and a best, okay? Best is going to have the most. It's going to be the most expensive. Better is a little bit less, and then good is going to be like your basic triplex, okay? Something else to ask someone that's not in here, that's not in the script is, hey, are you someone that struggles with being consistent? Because if you are, sometimes less is more. And sometimes it's best, let's just go ahead and get you started on triplex, get you consistent on that for a couple months. We can always add things later. Okay. Then you send them their options with their pricing and get with your sponsor on how to do this and how to do the pricing and like any specials that we have. And then after you send the options, and what I've been sending is if you go in boards, and you go to under the same signing a VIP, what products to recommend, product and combo information, click on combos. And there are just about every combo you can think of with the products, explanation, and the pricing. Okay. I like to send those. We also have this without the prices, but at this point we're giving them the pricing anyway. Those are great to send. All right, where did I go? Hang on. Okay. And then I say, don't worry, I'm going to explain. Hang on, where did I go? Okay. Don't worry, I'm about to explain all of these. A good tip is to send a voice memo to explain the different options. What is this doing? Y'all know I love a voice message. And sometimes I think someone hearing your voice and explain things is easier. Once they've had time to look it over, I know that was a lot of information. What questions do you have for me? Okay. This script has been very effective. It doesn't mean that immediately after you have this conversation, they're like, sign me up. Okay. Sometimes it takes people time. Sometimes it takes people 2, 3, 10 touches before they're ready to order. Okay. What you do is if you have this conversation with someone and they're like, yes, I'm ready to order this. Great. And Jessica is going to, I'm almost about to wrap up my part, and then Jessica's going to talk about what to do once someone does order. But we've talked about 3-way messages and why 3-way messages are important. Number one, if you're brand new, all this can feel like a lot. But if you are one of my recent new level ones or Megan's or Angel's, you probably were given this script. This script was probably used on you. And you've probably been in 3-way messages with us using it over and over and over and over. It's redundant on purpose because it asks the right questions and it's showing you that you can do this. Okay. So as far as 3-way messages go, you have to use your best judgment on the person. And if you think it would be best if you try to lead this conversation by yourself, and you can always send screenshots, especially in the first couple of months, keep your sponsor in the loop if you need help or if you're struggling with a conversation. But if you feel more comfortable having your sponsor lead the message, then when someone reaches out, say, hey, do you mind if I put you in a 3-way with my friend April or whoever it is? She's been doing this a little longer and she's going to help me help you. Okay. You decide Sometimes three-way messages work in this instance. Sometimes it can run people off. So you have to kind of use your best judgment there. Once someone is ready to order, well, let's say somebody's like, let me think about it. What do you do then? Well, I'm just never going to reach back out to her because that's awkward. No. I usually give people a couple of days if they say, let me think about it. And then a couple of days later, I'll shoot them a message and say, hey, following back up, what did you think about the information that I sent? Okay. You have permission to keep checking back in with that person until they tell you to go away. Okay. Now don't be annoying. Don't do it every day. You know, I have some people, I mean, I have a few of my happiest customers that literally, I think we messaged for 6 months and most of the conversation was me and like them every once in a while. Okay. Make sure you're engaging in their life too, not just Plexus, because you don't want to, I mean, we don't just care about Plexus. We do care about the person. So if someone says, I'm not ready, I'll get back with you. You put them on a list. Am I freezing? Okay. You put them on a list and you continually each month go back to that person and say, hey, I know last month wasn't a great time for you. But I wanted you to know what's going on this month, and you give them the current information, specials, whatever. Okay. If somebody is ready to order, what do? We on this team, we highly recommend, here's how to place an order. We highly recommend you place the first order for them. The reason for this is multifaceted. You make sure that they get put under the right sponsor. You make sure that it's done correctly. You make sure that they get the promo code. And I can't tell you how many times a customer does their own order and they forget to add the free reset. And then we have to call and get, it's fine. We can call, but if we do it for them the first time, we know that it was set up right. We know that they set up a subscription. And after that, it's up to you if you want to transition your people to manage their own subscriptions or if you want to continue. I personally do most of my customers' orders for them. I know Jessica does too. I know Melissa does. But if you're busy and you work a full-time job, feel free to teach your people how to do their own orders each month. But it's great to always check in with them before it runs because nobody likes a surprise charge to go out when they wake up the next morning, right? So we can talk about that at another time too, how to check your subs and how to remind them. But to sign someone up, does everybody have a graphic like this? If you do not have a graphic like this with your picture on it, let me know or let your sponsor know and we can make you one. When someone says, I'm ready to order, I send them this message and I say, great, send me this information and I will get it ordered for you. And then I say, if you're more comfortable, you can call me or text me. If you're on Facebook and you're in Messenger, you can call or text me with your card. I can't believe how many people just send me their card on text message. It's really mind blowing, but they do. I have probably had a handful in the last year that actually called me with the card. So send them this. When they get that information, you go and you place the order for them. Okay. All right. And there's all kinds of information on here that you can go back through and look. Last thing I'm going to talk about is why when we sign up a new VIP, why we put it as a subscription, okay? And make sure you encourage your people. First of all, I don't even bring it up. I don't even talk about the word subscription unless they ask me, first of all, because ours are not like most companies. It's not an auto ship. It's not because we check in with our customers every month. It's not, you don't have to order every month. There's no monthly minimum. You can log in, you can edit your order, you can remove the date. There's no, what's the opposite of a benefit? I just forgot a word. There's nothing bad about our subscriptions. The reason there's two main reasons why we do subscription. Number one, as your team grows and you get more and more customers, you're going to check in on those people that have subscriptions coming up. And that's how you stay in touch with your customers and see if they need help or what's going on. Well, if you could look at mine or Jessica's back office and probably Melissa's too, the whole first several pages are people with subscriptions turned off. So what do? We scroll right past those and we go to the ones whose subscriptions are coming up this week. And we're so busy with those people that the ones that don't have subs aren't getting as much contact from us. And it's easier for us to help them stay consistent when every month we're checking on them. Okay. That's the first thing. The second thing is the customer gets better shipping and they get a cheaper shipping rate, and they get to accumulate perk credits when they order through their sub. Okay. So if someone brings it up and asks why we have subscriptions, just reassure them it's nothing to be scared of, completely editable, and they're actually going to get more benefits from it. Okay. Any questions on any of that before I turn it over to Jessica? Any questions? Was that helpful? Was it? There's some things in the chat down here. Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. Jessica is going to talk to you guys about what we do with customers once they have ordered, because what is our goal here? Our goal is not to sign up a bunch of people and every month have to add new customers, because we're losing the ones out of the back door that we've signed up. Okay. All right. Take it away, Jess.
That was awesome information. And I know it seemed like a lot, mainly because she was just reading through it, but I think it is important to know that like when you pull up a document like what she just pulled up, you're going to see so much stuff that sometimes it might be overwhelming and you might not go through and read it. So the whole purpose of her reading through that is so that you understand, like it's literally like a script. It's not a ton of information that you have to learn. It's not a lot of information you're going to send to somebody, but it's just broken down in literally by conversation by conversation. And I'm giving April all the credit for finding that. She found that from another team, and then she took it and completely reworded it where it worked really well for how we do things. And she started it with her team members, and it has really gone very well. So and I've started using it. I started it with a lot of my new people. So, and I actually started with some of my own VIPs that I'm signing up. So, then a second thing I wanted to touch on really fast is because she was talking about, you have permission to go back to these people until they tell you to leave them alone. And that is 100% true. I can, after I've done this 8.5 years, if you don't know me, I have been in this company 8.5 years, and I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I've dealt with it all, gone through the highs and the lows. But I always remind people, because this is how I view things. All right, I'm going to give you an example. A friend of mine actually does Young Living. I used to do Young Living forever ago and had so many products. Okay. She does my hair. And so we were doing my hair, and she was like, and I was talking about Young Living, and I was like, I actually need to order some more oils. And she was like, oh, well, good. I'll send you my link and you can just go on and order. And I was like, okay, great. So she never sent me the link. So I was just kind of waiting, and honestly, I forgot about it. And then I thought about something with her, and I went to her and I was like, hey, did you ever send me that link? She sends me the link. Y'all, that was 3 weeks ago. Have I ordered yet? No. Why? Because I keep forgetting about it. But if she would come to me and say, hey, I was just going to make sure, did you have any questions about what you wanted to order? I would not be offended. I would not think she was trying to push me to buy something. I would be like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Thank you for reminding me. So when someone comes to you and you're having that back and forth, we have a thing where it's, for us, these conversations are on the forefront of our minds, because we know we've got, okay, this person was interested. This person was interested. For them, they're dealing with life, and Plexus is the last thing on their mind. They might not even have a clue what Plexus is. They just may know that they need to talk to you about a supplement. So going back to them is where they're going to see that trust and connection. And eventually they're probably going to order from you. Okay. So you've signed the person up. They've ordered their products. First of all, do not forget, it is incredibly important to either, number one, get their information, do the order for them. You can do it where you can get them on the phone and do it. You still do it on your own computer while they're on the phone, or you can share a cart, but get on the phone and walk them through that. So, because if you don't, like April said, there's probably going to be an error somewhere or a question, and it just goes so much more smoother. So as soon as that order is placed, I have a section in my notes on my phone, and we probably could put it on a board somewhere. You may have it in your boards, April, the little blurb that I send, but I don't know. But it's just like, hey, I'm so excited. Your stuff is ordered. I always say I'm going to help you manage your orders. And I can share that message that I send I can send it in the group at some point. But it says something like, I can help you manage your orders. gosh, I was going to pull it up so I could read it to y'all because it is important to have um
Hey, I'm gonna
something here.
share my screen again and pull it up.
Oh, you have it. Okay. Well, while she's looking for it, I am going to just read the one. Well, you got it.
Okay, so in the same board, if you go to after signing a VIP, click on drip system. And look, you don't have to use the exact messages we use. These are just examples.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so
this is
that
the first one that I sent.
okay. And see, I do it a little bit different. So again, you can that is amazing that it's on there and it's right there for you in boards. I'm going to just read you the one that I send. It's in a text. I save it like all my notes. I go in, I copy and I paste it and it's like I've ordered your stuff. I'm so excited. I can help manage your orders and we'll check in with you monthly, but save this on the notes on your phone just in case you need to do anything in your account. To log in and see your orders, place new orders, or view your products, go to, and I have the website listed. Then it has your username. I put their username in, their password, their ID number, because if they call customer service on their own, they're going to need to know their ID number. Then I say your referral link is da, 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 da. I put their referral link in there. Then I say I'm adding you to our customer page called Healthy Starts Here and our team page, Pink Peeps community page. I don't give them the option. In this message, I'm telling them I'm adding them to it. There you're going to find information on products, our company, testimonies, contests, specials, and support. Your products should be to you within 4 to 6 days. When you get them, please text me and I'll help you with a start schedule. Side note, you also have a referral link above if anyone wants to order anything you like. Ask me about that because I can help you get free product or cash for their orders. I'm excited for your journey, Jessica. So I do that one, I mean, as soon as I hit order, I send them that text message with all that information. And then I go immediately and I add them to Healthy Starts Here and our Pink Peeps group page. Those are the two places. I make sure they get in them. And I also run into a lot of people who aren't on Facebook. And if you have people that aren't on Facebook, I go back to them like, hey, are you on Facebook at all? Or, what is the best way to get you information? So you do that. Then I write down 3 to 4 days later in my calendar their name. And if I have not heard them but from them by that day, I will reach out and say, "Hey, did you get your products?" Because if you don't, uh, it may be 2 weeks, and you may remember that person signed up and be like, "Hey, did you get your products?" "Oh yeah, I got them last week, and I started them. Went by the information on the bottle." Well, that is not what we want. That is why communication is key, and by you reaching out to them is not bothering them. That is called customer service. Because you want to get them started on the right regimen for them. And when I have people, often they'll say, "Well, I just went by what's on the bottle. What's wrong with that?" I say to them, and this is true, the information on the bottle is dosed for the average person because there are so many people that will log into just the Plexus website, have nobody helping them, have no sponsor, have no friend, and they're going to get their products and have no idea where to start. So that's just a starting point that just for a basic customer. But because I'm helping you with your specific health issues, this is what I recommend starting with. And that's when you're going to go and ask, go back to the first questions you asked about why they started. Also continue to remind them about 90 days. Okay, I know you just got your stuff. I want you to start paying attention. Another thing I do too is I will ask them, okay, before like today's day one, we're about to start. Day one, I want you to write down everything that bothers you about yourself. Like when you lay down to go to bed at night, is it hard to go to sleep? Do you lay your head down and you already go to sleep? Like write down things like when you wake up in the afternoon or when you're in the afternoon, do you feel like you need to take a nap? Write down a lot of things that bother them currently, whether it's a health issue or not. Because in a couple weeks, you can have them go back to that list. Okay, well, did you notice anything different within those last 2 weeks or those last 3 weeks from that list? And a lot of times they'll be like, because that's what we call small wins that people aren't normally paying attention to. And when you point those out, like, okay, you were drinking 4 Cokes a day. Are you down to 2? What made you stop drinking 4 Cokes a day? Or, some people don't even notice because everything they're doing throughout the day is so habitual. So those are the small wins that people are going to see within those before 90 days comes. But if you can get them to that 90-day mark, that's when it rolls over. However, it's incredibly important to say 90 days is 90 days, but that is 90 days of consistency. If you have someone that, they ordered on, I've had somebody before say, I'll check back in with them. It's like week 3 that from the date they ordered. And, well, I just didn't notice any different. I'm like, well, you ordered on the 15th, but you didn't get your products till a week later. So this is really you've only been on the products a week and a half, and you really weren't that consistent at first. Like, you have to go back and remind them, like, and I tell them up front, like what April said, this is not an overnight process. I'm talking with a girl right now who she's battled severe acne for most of her life. And she's a good friend of mine. I've talked to her about the products years ago. And she was like, no, I'm good. I don't need anything. But she made a post the other day and I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I'm coming to you as a friend, not as a saleswoman. I said, I don't care who you buy from. I said, but I can promise you what you're dealing with is gut health related. And she was like, no, girl, it's not. I just got oily pores. And I was like, well, that is gut health related. And she went, what? So people don't always realize what on earth we have and what gut health actually means, because she even came back and she was like, the problems with my gut are, I have IBS. And I was like, well, those are stomach issues, those are intestinal issues, but it's all, I said, I can start you on a combo, which is the triplex that's going to target both of those issues. So we're in a she hasn't ordered yet, but we're a back and forth conversation about some stuff. So just know that, like, a lot of people have no idea what they need or why they need it. And if you're new, and even if you're not new, I mean, everybody on this call, I would consider new, honestly. I mean, if you're within your first year, there's still so many products out there. You probably have no idea what they are or how they can be used. So always know that there is probably a product out there that can help someone, and always know that April, Megan, Angel, I don't know who else is I don't know all the levels that are on here. Myself, Melissa Deaton, we're always here to help answer questions. But if you got nothing from anything that we just said, the main thing to take away is communication. Communication on the front end, communication ordering, and communication on the back end. Because 8.5 years later, I still have, what was it, April, that I sent you the other day? I had my VA go in my back office and look at the percentage of customers that I have that consistently order and have. I think it was like, I don't know. It was real. It was like, was
You
it
have
like,
like 45
I
every
was gonna
month
say,
or something?
yeah. Like it was a really good number of solid people that consistently order. And that doesn't count people that I can reach back out to and say, hey, we have a sale. Like, I have a lot of customers that just order when there's a sale. But the reason I can go back to those people is because I kept communication going the entire time from the day they reached out to me until today. So I think that's really all I have. I would love, I mean, if y'all have any questions, I mean, it doesn't have to relate to anything we're even talking about.
Real quick, I
Um,
want to show you. I'm going to share my screen again. Jessica, talk about when someone tells them they get their products. And here is, can y'all see this? Okay. So in the drip system, these are sample messages. You do not have to use our system. You need a system. Why is this not getting bigger? You need a system that works for you. In this, there are so many sample messages in here you can send to people if you run out of things to say or ask. Okay. But when someone gets their products, and someone texts me and says I got them, or if someone doesn't, and I, like Jessica said, you reach out and ask them, this is what, why is it not working? Can y'all see this? Okay. It is so important. Jessica, you want to talk about getting them started on triplex?
Yeah. So a lot of times I ask this question on the front end, but I also go back to it. So because the reason I ask this question about how often they go to the bathroom, if we're talking about a gut intestinal type issue specifically, is because sometimes they may or may not need a lot of BioCleanse. Sometimes, if you have a customer who's super constipated and never goes to the bathroom, you may want to order them the triplex system that has like the 120 package in it or the 180 package. But whether you ask it on the front end or the back end, it doesn't matter. But it's important to know. Like I always say, okay, I'm about to ask you a question. Nothing is too much information. I talk about poop all the time, but here I want to know about your bathroom situation. Do you go, and I always say 1 to 3 times a day can be normal. I go 3 times a day. So that is very normal.
I can change that.
Yeah, I would change that just because people sometimes might freak out. But too much is 3+ times a day. If you were like me prior to Plexus, I would eat something and go to the bathroom probably 12 times a day. And then there are a lot of people who are like, well, I go once a day or every other day. I'm like, okay, that is not normal. So that is, if you can get this answer out of them, this will give you that information that you need to help them with how to start with the BioCleanse. This question right here, this block all refers to where you're going to start with them with the BioCleanse.
Okay, and then
Um,
so once you send that in here, we literally have start guide if they're normal, start guide if they go too much, and if they are super constipated. And y'all can look over that. Um, you're gonna have a happier customer quicker if you get them on the right regimen. Now, this is why communication is important, and this is why throughway messages are important in the beginning, because I can't tell you how many customers have come back to me and said, I just don't think this is working for me because I'm so bloated and I feel worse. Well, we have to talk about detox. And then here is a detox one right here. And in the sample message that I send to my people, and it's long, but I need to figure out a way to get this down. It talks about adding them to Healthy Starts Here and Pink Peeps, the Plexus Go app. This is all just information that they need to have somewhere. But there's also, where is the one that I send that has the detail? Oh, when I send them, okay, I'm sorry. When I send them their getting started regimen at the bottom, make sure you watch this video about detox. If you're having any issues, let me know. Y'all, detox is very real. And people are going to think that it didn't work for them because they feel the detox symptoms. And if we don't tell them that ahead of time and have them expect it, then they're going to just want to quit. So it's good, ask questions. If somebody comes to me and says, I'm bloated and I don't think this is working, I'm like, okay, let me ask you a few questions. The first question I ask them is, how many of each product are you taking? And how often are you taking it? And what time of day are you taking it? It doesn't matter if I've already told them 8 times to take 2 ProBio 5 and 2 BioCleanse. I can't tell you how many people like, I just take one of each. So you have to ask the questions. How much water are you drinking? Are you drinking half your body weight in ounces every single day of water? Well, no. Okay. How often do you move your body? Do you exercise? Do you walk at least 2 to 3 days a week? Well, no. Like you have to kind of walk through these questions with them because this is not a cure all. This is a supplement. And in order to get the best results, they've got to be willing to drink more water, to move their body a little bit, especially in the detox window. So in the beginning, and you will learn all these things. Somehow I have become the constipation expert and queen on our team. I get all the major constipated customers and I can make you poop. I mean, I know that's like disgusting, but I know how to make the most constipated person a regular person in the bathroom. And it's because of all these conversations that I've had with people. So just know that you've got this information at your fingertips. You have us to help you. You're not expected to know everything, but we want you. Melissa says her detox was horrible. And I personally didn't have a detox. I don't remember feeling a detox. There's people that have felt flu-like symptoms, had headaches,
I
and
had flu-like symptoms, and
you
then my
did.
husband had diarrhea for 3 days. But after it was over, it was like 3 days and we were both done. And I did want to add something really to the BioCleanse conversation because I feel like BioCleanse, I'm very sensitive to BioCleanse, which is why I'm sensitive when it comes to other people talking about BioCleanse. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of people that have IBS and they're irritable bowel syndrome. This really good information. Okay. Irritable bowel syndrome. It's important to ask if they say they have IBS, is it C or D? Not hard to understand the difference. C is constipation, IBS with constipation, or D is IBS with diarrhea. Okay. I had IBS-D. My mom had IBS-D. The girl I'm talking to right now had IBS-D in high school. Now she has IBS-C. Some people have C and D. So when you're talking to someone who has IBS-D, which is with diarrhea, that means they're going to the bathroom a whole lot. They've probably had several colonoscopies. I'd had 5. They probably found nothing. So that's what they label you as. You just have IBS. Deal with it, basically. Take your, Imodium to keep you regular kind of thing is what they do. So for instance, I started my mom on one BioCleanse because that's all I could personally handle taking was one BioCleanse. I started her on one BioCleanse. She was still in the bathroom all day long. Now, an important part of that is she had 32 inches of her colon removed. So she has a shorter way or means of everything emptying. So she does not take any BioCleanse. She's been on the triplex system for 7 years, but never been able to take BioCleanse. So she only takes the Slim Microbiome and ProBio 5, and that has been perfect for her. Once she stopped the BioCleanse, she had her first solid bowel movement she'd ever had, and you would have thought that she had just won the gold medal in the Olympics. She was crying. And I know April had a similar situation, I think maybe with her mom or something like that too. Maybe I remember that. But so the other thing I was going to say is like for myself, like I said, I only take one. Well, when I had my shoulder surgery, you're on pain meds. Pain meds back you up. So what I did, I didn't go to the bathroom for 2 days, even though I was taking one BioCleanse. So I was doing 2 BioCleanse at night, 2 BioCleanse in the morning, 2 BioCleanse at night, 2 BioCleanse in the morning until I started going regularly and got myself back to my normal. And now I'm back to 1. And that took about 3 weeks once I got backed up. So I tell people on the front end, if they have stomach issues, BioCleanse is the one product that we can play around with. Now, you want to be consistent every single day with the Slim and the ProBio 5. Once we get that, don't change that. But the BioCleanse, if you're going too much or you're having a hard time, let me know. We can adjust that. If you're not going enough, let me know. We can adjust that. But it's a very difficult product for people, but people are also incredibly sensitive to BioCleanse or anything that has to do with keeping them regular because most of these people have dealt with going to the bathroom issues their whole life. So I just want to throw that out there because I'm pretty knowledgeable
Yeah,
in
and I
that.
tell people all the time, like, it can be a dance with BioCleanse. And I was way constipated when I started Plexus. I take 2 every night, but there are still some days that I have to take 2 extra. And that's what I tell my customers. Like, hey, you got BioCleanse in your back pocket if you need it. You can't take too much within reason. Okay. So the main thing is just keep your lines of communication open, ask questions, gather evidence, get with your sponsor. And I promise the more you do it, the more you learn. And when you get that first happy customer that texts you and is like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt this good in years, you're going to be like, this is why I do this. But yes, Beatty, you had to take extra after reset. So some people during reset, even though it's a liquid diet, it messes with them. And so that's another thing I tell my new people. If they get triplex and reset and they want to just start with the reset, I tell them to go ahead and take a couple of BioCleanse during the reset. You just to go ahead, you're going to be pooping liquid anyway. So okay, I'm glad we can end on the poop note. Does anybody have any questions? We're super excited about this team. All of you and most of you have already started adding people working the business under you. If there's anything, any specific trainings y'all need or any questions, things you are struggling with, please let us know. I've thought about trying to do another Zoom, like, I'm not going to do these all the time, but like I'll have a Friday afternoon and then maybe one night during the week I'll do something just for people that work or whatever. But thank you. I'm going to stop the recording. How do you stop it?